Hey, welcome back. We got a stack of comic books we need to look at here, so let's do that really quickly. First of all, just picked up a pile of comics yesterday from someone about half an hour away. And let's see, the first one we've got is Billy the Kid, Adventure Magazine. Now, you can immediately tell it's from around 1955 because the Comics Code Authority seal is gigantic. And when the code first came in, they wanted to make sure parents saw it. This comic is okay. There's not going to be any horrible sadistic violence or whatever in it. Ad on the back is, of course, fantastic. And let's see if I'm correct, if this is from 1955. May 1955, issue number 28. Of course, I'm always correct. Well, usually. Oh man, there's light coming from behind me. That is not good. Maybe this way's better, huh? Okay. See, Charles Atlas never aged. That's the best way to do this. I don't normally do videos down here, man. Oh, I'll turn this lamp on over here. I'm going to be doing a special broadcast on my radio station, possibly tomorrow in honor of July 4th. So look forward to that. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so you can see through the page. Who cares? Alive Turtle, man. Great stuff. Mystery, magic, science, and fun. That was Dr. Fauci's motto. He has it tattooed on his back, right on the small of his, it's like a tramp stamp. Dr. Fauci has that. It's an amazing offer. I love looking at the ads, man. That's more than half the fun for me. Here's a text story that I guarantee you no kid ever read, but it's there just to fool the postal authorities. So the artwork is, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's all right. It's not. It's okay. It's, oh my gosh, this guy got bopped on the head. It says bop. So, because it's after the code came along. So he's not going to get, shot in the head. I don't know. There's a little bit of violence, but it's, so altogether, I got a stack of comics and a couple of magazines. $50 is what I paid. They had just put a few of these books out on an ad for $80, and then they dropped it to $25, and then they had some other books that they were also advertising for $15 each. And it's like all completely still overpriced. And so I went and looked at all the books they had and paid them $50. I wanted to pay them $40, but they wanted $50. So I was trying to be nice because it turned out they might find more because they had bought the house of someone cool that had collected, hoarded, whatever you want to call it, all kinds of cool stuff that I like, which they had sold or hauled away in dumpsters, combination of it. This was a beautiful old mansion from 1901 that had been a local banker's house. It was a wealthy person's house then, but some guy had lived there. He was doing computer work, and he only lived in the living room, and he had everything plastic taped off. Even the stairs going upstairs, that was closed off. He just made it into a one-room apartment, so I guess he didn't have to heat and cool the whole place. But he had the whole place filled, in the basement filled with cool stuff, in the garage, and he had a Wurlitzer jukebox from the 50s. They were selling that for $300, but I don't have the capability of restoring it, and I don't need another jukebox. So, but it was cool. Lots of cool stuff. Zenith console, radio, and phonograph from the 40s. Beautiful condition. All kinds of stuff. But anyway, they said, well, they got my number and they're going to text me pictures of anything they find. I told them I'm interested in comics and magazines and toys, especially monster stuff, and just like, so I don't know. I probably overpaid. This comic's in pretty good shape, but this isn't a high dollar book. I don't think so. But it's cool to me, man. Look at this Howdy Doody ad. 8 rolls of color film. I remember these little TV sets. They still sold them at the 7-Eleven when I was a kid. I had a Spider-Man one, and it's $1, man. Is that what they're selling it for? What are you selling this for? What are you selling this for, man? $1. That was a lot of money in 1955, and that's a cheap little piece of plastic with some paper that you roll through it. It's this big. It says it's a super-sized television, but $1 was more. I shouldn't have even paid more than $1 in the 70s when I bought that stupid thing. Braveheart. It's not the Mel Gibson movie. That's pretty cool little Billy the Kid comic book. Now I'm going to bring them out one at a time because I put the pile here. I got these little kittens and cats running around, bopping around, jumping on the curtains. And a stack would have I'll go put this back on the pinball machine. And I'll get another one, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll look at that. I must be losing weight because these pants are way too... they're just falling off of me, so hopefully... Okay, hold on. And I'm getting all the patriotic music ready for my radio show. That's what I've been doing this morning. Well, this book's in horrific condition. It's been taped back together. It's a more recent book. It's from the 60s. It's also Billy the Kid. No relation to that other Billy the Kid. This is from Charlton, obviously. And of course, Billy the Kid is not... You can't copyright Billy the Kid. I mean, he was a real historical person. He wasn't a hero. He was an insane killer. But I don't know. It's just this one's in pretty crappy condition. This one, just crappy condition. Boys, Ben, I'll help you master Yubiwaza. I weigh only 98 pounds, yet I can paralyze a 200-pound attacker with just a finger because I know Yubiwaza. That's what this lady's saying there. Well, yeah. Well, anyway. Look at this. Attack, rapid, spurt, water gun. You got a secret weapon tank, and man, that's a cool ad. Marine Commando camouflage paint. Killer shark teeth, man, they got the best advertisements in this Charlton comic. It's 12-cent. Let me see. I like to play this game where I guess the month and year. I'm going to guess April of 66 on this one. Let me see. January of, damn it. I think January of 65. I was off. But anyway, here's Billy the Kid. My dad had a guy come into his office to, my father was in real estate after he retired from the Army. And he was doing, some guy came in wanting to rent a house or something, and my dad, as the kid, immediately realized this guy looked exactly, I think there's only one photograph of the real Billy the Kid, and he looked just like him, which is not a good thing. You don't want to look like Billy the Kid because he looks completely inbred. The real Billy the Kid was not this handsome looking guy. He looked like Steve McQueen or something. He was just he was brain damaged. And anyway, he says, "Are you by any chance related to William the Kid?" What was his name? Was his name William Bonney, I think? I think so. I could be wrong. And it turned out he was related to Billy the Kid. So apparently Billy the Kid must have had a child at some point in his life. Or maybe an equally ugly sister that had a child that would make him, that guy, related. This was back in the 70s or early 80s that he encountered this Billy the Kid relative. Okay, so this is barely, I don't think this would even sell in a dollar bin. I think it's cool, especially the ads, but anyway, just the condition's bad. Let's look at the rest of this garbage. Okay, this one's in pretty good shape. Most of these comics are westerns. This is Kid Colt Outlaw, number 90. The seal is big here, so I would say it's mid-50s. Clearly a Kirby cover. This one's in much better shape. Charlton, those books are going to be in bad shape just because they were printed on such cheap paper. And okay. Oh, I was going to guess. Let's guess. I'm assuming this is from the same, all from the same collection. So I'm going to guess 55, and I'm going to guess May of 55. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, shit, I'm off. May, I was right with the May. It is May, but it's 1960. I was off by 5 years. So this is Marvel. I think they're probably still calling themselves Timely, or are they? Let's see here. This is about a year before the Fantastic Four would premiere. Leading Magazine Corporation. They're not calling themselves Marvel here. I didn't even know they called themselves Leading. I might have known that at one time. Here's a Mickey Mantle ad. That kind of looks like my older brother did when he was in high school. Draw Mishimakwa. If you can draw Mishimakwa, you're obviously a very talented, skilled artist. You're ready to start painting over the Sistine Chapel. Okay, this looks pretty good. Pretty good. It's nice, pages are pretty white. Desperado. Gain more weight, man. I wish I could make these ads, man. I could tell you how to gain weight. No skinny scarecrow for me. It's so easy to gain weight, man. You send me $1, I'll tell you how to gain weight, man. I'll give you the diet plan. Stop worrying about your future. You can have a career in auto mechanics. What are you cats doing, man? These cats are they trying to communicate with me that they're out of food? I have a feeling that's what they're trying to do. Why don't you just learn English, kittens? Okay, let me put this Kid Cold Outlaw up, feed the cats, then I'll look at the next book. It's a Rawhide Kid book, 12 cents. So that last one was 10 cents, wasn't it? And so that was 1960. So I think the first issue of Fantastic Four was 10 cents. So I think comics went up to 12 cents in early 1962 or late 61. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I say that to pretend that I'm humble. No, I'm just kidding. Shit. Well, it's another great Kirby cover. This one's not quite as good a shape as the other one. Kind of a rolled spine. Feels a little grittier. Oh, I was going to guess. Let's say February of 61. Oh, it's June of 66, man. Whoa, I'm way off. Oh, look at this cool ad. I didn't know Marvel had this ad. I knew that ad was in the ACG books. Grow 7 monsters. Oh, look, someone wrote 1966 there. Probably some comic dealer at some point in the last 60 years. Now that is cool. Look at that ad. Because this is where was it in 66 again? Because Batman came on in January of 66 on ABC. So this one is June of 66. So this is the summer of 66. So the Batmania was in full swing, and June is when the Batman movie was released in theaters. So anyway, yeah, this is and in a couple of months, the Marvel Superheroes cartoon would premiere syndicated. So there's that great sweatshirt with the Hulk coming and going, and yeah, they're all into the Merry Marvel Marching Society at this point. Okay, well, what my point is there's an ad for the Bat Cave here. Ooh, I need reading glasses. My reading glasses are over there, and I don't want to get up and walk over there. Let's see. Battle log. Something about super intelligent bats. I guess it's a book about bats. I thought it was going to be like Batman memorabilia you could buy. Back when you could buy a darling pet monkey, those spider monkeys they would absolutely destroy your house. Okay, so yeah, this is the same month that Spider-Man 37 came out. X-Men 20. Fantastic Four 51. So the Galactus trilogy had just finished. Now, of course, you're not going to find a stack of, of course, the kids bought these, instead of the Fantastic Four and the Spider-Man. Farm kids, I guess they wanted these cowboy comics. But this was right next to those other books on the spitter rack. If they just moved their hand 3 inches over, they would have gotten a book worth thousands. Now we're into the late 60s, because this Rawhide Kid is a 15-cent book. It still has cover gloss on it, and not in. Ugh. A little bit of a cut there. And the book has a little bit of a cut right about there. You see on that guy's face. These were not read by collectors, but somehow they survived all these years. As far as guessing, this one I'm going to guess 1969, and I'm going to guess January of 69. Am I right? October of 70. Yeah, I'm off by almost a year. Anyway. Oh, the cats are having a little play battle. You can learn how to draw comics. You probably would rather see the cats battling, wouldn't you? They're brother and sister. My goodness. She's hiding behind this Grinch toy, so no one can see her. And he is concentrating on destroying my shoes. Okay, I think they're distracted now. Okay, so did we already look at this book? I assume we did. I'm looking at what other Marvel comics were out that month, and these cool posters you could get. Let's see. Let's get our next book. Let's not look at the westerns for a little bit. This book, they had in a separate ad, and they were wanting $15 for this. Now, that might be a good price if it was in good condition. I mean, it's okay condition, but the Gold Key Scooby-Doo comics are kind of sought after. At least they're sought after by me. It's weird. At first you think the mustache was drawn on by a kid, but no, it's printed that way. Kind of. I don't normally think of Dracula having a mustache. I mean, the real Vlad the Impaler did. But in the movies, typically, Dracula's not shown with a mustache. Now, at this point, the Marvel Dracula was out. So anyway, of course, in the Scooby-Doo cartoon, at least, there were never any real monsters. They always were, oh, it's the janitor dressed up. Anyway, it's Whitman, which means it was, sold in a little 3-pack. Hey, kids, get 3 comics for, what are they, 60 cents, 70, I don't know what they were 20 cents at this time. Yeah, you get a little discount. You get 3 comics in 1 pack. And then they would sell those little packs in stores, toy stores or drugstores ones where they didn't normally have a spinner rack of comics or a rack of comics. And then, artwork's pretty good here. Usually, in the Overstreet Price Guide in the late 70s, they said that these Whitman ones were reprints. So people started throwing them away thinking they were junk. And then later it turned out, no, they weren't reprints. They were all part of the first printing. It's just they would, at a certain point in the printing run, place this Whitman little element over the gold key symbol and keep printing. So then all of a sudden people realize, well, there's fewer of them out there. So these are actually more valuable. It's whatever. Oh, on these you can, no, you can't. If it had the gold key symbol, you could read the month and year here, but since I can't, I know it's 20 cents, so I'm going to guess 1973, and I'm going to guess September. Let's see if I'm right. Ooh, Where's the month? 1974. I'm not seeing the month. Okay, well, I'm off by a little bit. I know the 20-cent era was 72 through 74, pretty much. There's your ubiquitous Sea Monkeys ad. How about that fancy word, ubiquitous? Oh, Kevin will like this. Look at all these masks. Kevin, the owner of Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona, loves monster masks. In fact, there's a mask up there. He was wanting to know the manufacturer of it, so I need to get it down and look. Yeah, buddy. Well, this is cool. This is in pretty good. It's not in good condition. I'm fooling myself, but it's glossy. It doesn't feel like gritty and horrible. Okay. Well, today's kind of a bittersweet. No, not bittersweet. Sad day. Our favorite restaurant, like in the world, is. The owners are retiring today, so today's the last time we'll ever be able to get some food in there, man. And they're basically, as they're selling it, they're not buying any more food. So over the last week, whenever they run out of some food, they cross it out of the menu. So you don't really know what's going to be available, but I might get a cheeseburger. They make great cheeseburgers. And there's a Mexican restaurant moving in. They're going to rent it. And ironically, the best thing they make is their cheeseburger. It's better than their actual Mexican food. Okay. They had a separate ad. This was $15. This is kind of a sought after book. You don't see this every day. It's reprints of Ghost Rider, the original Ghost Rider. But this was a about 66, 67. Ghost Rider came out before the motorcycle, skull-headed, flame-headed Ghost Rider in the early 70s. And so this is reprints of that. They couldn't call it Ghost Rider anymore because they had a new Ghost Rider. So this one's not in bad shape. They were trying to sell it for $15. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know that I overpaid that much. I think I'm kind of happy with everything. Because it's very, very rarely do I find comics around here. Usually I have to get comics sent to me from Mesa, Arizona, which is on the other side of the United States. Well, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Trump yesterday, and it's going to be a big July 4th celebration, and then George Soros is hiring a bunch of people to go to Washington to protest the Supreme Court ruling, so that'll be going on at the same time. It's all a mess. Oh, I was going to guess. Well, it's 25 cents, so let's say 1975, and let's say February of 75. Ooh, am I right or am I wrong? December of 74. So I'm off by 2 months. Okay. Not too bad. This book, I want to read this book. It's in horrible condition. If I knew how to press this book, it's just in terrible condition. They had it photographed. It's got the worst spine roll I've ever seen. Ugh. I just need to put it under some heavy books. Anyway, I've never owned this issue of Weird War. Well, if I had owned it, I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. But it's but it's like, destroyed by some kid, man. Ooh, beautiful artwork here. Look at this. As Weird War covered all different time periods, so this is like war in the ancient times here in this story. Weird War was kind of like Love American Style, except it wasn't love, it was war. And it was, instead of being romantic and funny, it was violent and horrible and supernatural. So other than that, it's exactly like Love American Style, but different stories, different time periods. Yeah, yeah. This is like a Conan the Barbarian, Robin Hood, or something. Oh, look, the Emperor of Weehawken, epic by Sheldon Mayer and Alfredo Alcala. Look at that, Alfredo Alcala. You're so wonderful. Oh man, I bought that one off the newsstands, and then it was stolen from my collection back in Texas. I think that's the only time that's ever happened to me, but it was 100% stolen. And Jambo sent me a replacement copy that'll be good until I would like to upgrade it to get one in the same condition. Maybe I'll actually buy my copy back from some, because I'm sure they sold it at some store. It's the first appearance of Power Girl. It's the return of All Star Comics. It was something I bought when I lived in Tacoma, Washington. I just don't like shit stuff. Someone wrote 1976 on this one. Someone was like, I'm gonna write the year on these. Yeah. So, yeah, 76. It would be early 76. Yeah, January, February 76. It actually would have been on the stands in late 75. So that's when I lived in Tacoma for the 75-76 school year. Yeah. So, let's look at more. What most excited me, in that initial stack that had the few Western comics was this issue of Dig. Not a comic book, but this is something I love. Dig is a teenage fan magazine. And in the 50s, it was the coolest of the teenage fan magazines, that covered Elvis and all the stuff going on with teenagers. It was the one that was the least square. And so anytime I get a chance that's Connie Stevens there, I want to buy this Dig. And I thought, well, maybe they have and I was stupid. I didn't look to see if they cut anything out, but they haven't. Soupy Sales was a teen idol. Yeah. There's Warren Beatty, was a young guy then. Natalie Wood. Yeah, we lost, not from this time period. This is going to be, I would say it's 1963 that gives it away. So it's going to be Kennedy era. Let's say it's April 63. Let's see if I'm right. I don't even know. Oh, here. March of 63. I'm off by 1 month. Yeah, here's an ad for the new Ventures albums.
America, what's your favorite sport?
You can get these back issues. The 50s issues, of course, are going to be better because that's going to be when, before Elvis was drafted and they, started, rounding up the Jerry Lee Lewis kind of committed career suicide with his marriage, and then Chuck Berry was in a little bit of trouble, a lot of trouble. So all the original guys that started it kind of were starting to get in trouble, and then they started bringing out the more wholesome teen idols. But this is a crazy fan magazine. It's got a little bit of a problem at the top there. Well, this girl is Miss American Beauty, I guess, for this. But currently, you can apply to be Dig's American Beauty. And here's a bunch of people that want pen pals back before the internet.
New Great Shakes taste like a soda fountain shake. Great Shakes comes with 4 servings packed in its own shaker, and it's ready in seconds. Just add milk and shake it.
Yeah, what a great time period. Everything went bad with the Kennedy assassination. That's when the country started spiraling down, and it's been spiraling our entire lives. And now things are starting to get fixed, but a lot of people don't realize it. This is fantastic. The many faces of Bobby Boris Pickett have been smiling all the way to the bank. His first big recording was Monster Mash, and then came his first album called The Original Monster Mash. His third successful disc was Monsters Holiday, and from what Bobby tells us, he intends to continue exploring the monster theme further and continue coming up with more and more of his somewhat crazy, but definitely original hit recordings. So there's the guy that you hear on the Monster Mash that sounds like Boris Karloff, and there he is dressed up as various monsters. Monster Mash was, of course, brought back. It was a big hit in '62, and then it became in '73 when I was in 3rd grade. It went on to I don't know if it went to number 1, but it was on the radio constantly. And I went through 2 copies of that 45. I just wore that thing out. I loved the Monster Mash. I was about 9 years too late, but it came back, man, for a whole new little generation.
There's just one catch. Logan's Run, rated PG.
What you don't know about Bobby Rydell. This must be the little mascot of the magazine, kind of like Alfred Newman, this hideous girl with zits. What are they trying to say about their average reader? I don't know, man. Greatest idea in history. It's just a wonderful snapshot of a great time period. And it's got this famous monsters kind of layout. It's trust me, Dig is a cool magazine. Johnny Crawford, and from the Rifleman. And of course, Dr. Kildare. Of course, the girls that were in love with him didn't know that he didn't really like girls, but that's all right. They could dream, couldn't they? Okay, so I got an issue of Dig. So this was like one of the most exciting things to me from that pile. All right, let's get more and let's look at them. It seems like I have just about every issue of a magazine called Dynamite, because the teachers would get these Scholastic little forms from Scholastic books, and then you'd order, and I'd always get Dynamite magazine, which is a teen magazine for from the 70s. I've got a whole box of them, but I never got this issue. It's in crummy condition, but Dynamite right when I guess Rocky's coming out. And there probably was a poster in the back. There usually was. It doesn't look like it's here. But if you grew up in the 70s, you know this magazine. And of course, there was Count Morbida, who had this puzzle, these puzzles that you could do. This weird 1970s looking vampire guy. Count Morbida. There even was a Count Morbida record. I never had it, but you can listen to it on YouTube. Just type in Count Morbida. If you ever wanted to hear what Count Morbida sounds like. And of course, I know you did. Oh my gosh. Look, it's him at Christmas. Someone actually solved the maze. Oh well. These were owned by real kids, not anal retentive, insane, obsessive compulsive kids like I was that kept everything in absolute mint condition. She must have been some big skateboarding star. I don't know anything about skateboarding culture, but yeah, this is not exactly when Rocky came out. This is about a year later, and that's why it's saying, what's next for the star of Rocky? And I say that because it's like Star Wars is obviously out by this point. So I'd say this is from 77, probably early 77. Let's guess September of 77. Let's see if I'm correct. Come on. It's issue 42. It is 77. Come on, man. Well, it should say the month on the front. November, oh, it's right there in the front, November of 77. What did I say, September? I'm only up by 2 months, man. I'm a genius. Yeah, these 70s graphics. Yeah, this was a magazine I enjoyed, and they always had, usually they had superhero stuff in here. They would have little shortened versions of the secret origins of Marvel superheroes. And then I think they were doing DC heroes. And then they decided they would just do their own superhero strip. Let's see if there's a superhero strip. Oh, here it is. Yeah, by this point, they'd stopped going to Marvel or DC, and they started doing their own strip called the Dynamite Duo, which has pretty good artwork. You know what it looks like to me? This kind of artwork. It looks very British to me, which is not an insult. It does not look British. It doesn't look like... It almost looks like American comic art, but it has a European look to it. The Dynamite Duo, yeah. This was a cooler magazine earlier in the 70s. Here's some of those earlier issues you may recall. I remember that one with Space 1999 on the cover. Man, everyone thought Space 1999 was going to be the next big thing. That was going to be as big as Star Trek, but it didn't happen. I think this dog, Sylvester Stallone, was starving, and he had to give up his dog. And then when Rocky came out, he was able to get his dog back. I think I remember that. At least that's what I've been told. But anyway. Well, I'll tell you a story, a real true life story, a tale of the western frontier. The West it was lawless, but one man was flawless, and his is the story you'll hear. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Hugh O'Brien, terrible condition, copy of he's a lawman in the West's toughest town. Not in very good shape. Pages are white, though. They usually are going to be in Dell Comics. Dell, somehow, you don't really see Dell Comics from the 50s with brown pages. You could store it in a hot garage for 70 years. It's still going to be, the page is going to be white. A Charlton comic's going to turn as brown as the leaves do in November, man, on the ground. You're hearing a preview of my next radio broadcast. I put the music together in advance, just the secret. People don't seem to like my radio broadcast as much as when I'm showing comic books, but they'll learn, they'll come around, because that's what I'm mainly into right now. Because I was like, what am I going to do? Show you comics I've shown you 15 times before? And I don't get new comics that often. This is pretty good likeness of the actor there. This artwork's not bad. Oh, man, he's really punching him there. He's punching him, but let's see if he ever... I want to see Wyatt Earp shoot somebody. Come on, that's what Wyatt Earp's famous for doing. Yeah, same idiot. Whoever did this wrote 1958 on the top. Well, what must it have been like to have actually grown up in a time period where the music was great and the cars were great and the culture was wonderful? Maybe the kids were nicer in school, or maybe they were just the same assholes that I remember from growing up in the 70s. It's just they had cooler looking hair and better taste in music. I don't know. I mean, there were bullies and assholes and gang members back then too. But I think people as a general rule were just nicer. I think our whole culture was nicer. And they can lie to us and say, no, it's always been bad, but I don't think so. I think the 50s, man, would have been great, but I grew up in the 70s and things were pretty horrible. Yeah, I mean, some of these books, like, if you owned a comic store and put this out for $2, it would probably stay there for 5 years before someone would come along and buy it. But I think it's cool, So all this stuff together, plus a few more books I'm about to show you, I did the math. If you divide $50 by the number of books, it's like $3 a book. Some of the books, that's like some of those, there's some books worth more than $3, some that are worth less than $3. So maybe it all adds, maybe it all works out. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, Dell Comics, the page is going to be white. So it's all these Western movie stars and TV stars all gathered together in one place. It's a really thick, and it's a thick book. What did it cost? 25 cents. Yeah, almost the price of 3 comics back then. I'm assuming This is I'm going to say 1957. I'm going to say February of 57. No, I'm off. October, December 1955. And the page is missing. This has been taped together at some point, and a page has fallen out. Well, what can I do? I could draw my own page and figure maybe I can guess what happened on before this page, and I could insert that in, and then I'd have a complete story. Well, a fool and his money is soon parted. Okay. Now here's a really beat up DC Western. In fact, it's called Western. Can't get much more generic than that. Western comics. Yeah, literally falling apart. What's cool is the ad on the back for the Red Ryder BB gun. It's for Christmas. Man, it's a 10-cent comic. What does it say? Someone wrote on it. I would say it's from, let's say 56, and let's say January of 56. January, February 52. Yeah, why did I say 56? There's no comics code on it. So it's obviously from before 55. That drives me crazy, that little piece there. What do, man? You just knock it off, or do you try to secure it back to the comic? People, and they're not, just don't know how to treat comics. Johnny Lujak, ace quarterback of the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, I don't even know if they still exist. I don't know anything about sports. Sorry about that. I'm sorry if that offends you. Yeah, well, the pages are white. I guess it's just mainly it's just pretty ragged there on the front cover. Back covers, well, this is called DC chipping. It's even worse than Marvel chipping. All right. Okay, this one's pretty cool. It's must be based on a Zane Grey novel. Zane Grey's Drift Fence. A gripping story of the hard-fighting West packed with blazing action and romance. And it says Essex, Iowa, so that's apparently where this comic once resided. A great painted cover there. And this cringing girl in the back is well drawn. It says a fence stood between them, a barrier that began a gun-toting feud, a drift fence that could not divide two hearts meant to be one. So it's like a Romeo and Juliet story. That's a thick comic too. And the print is done kind of like Charlton did that. I guess EC Comics did that too, but they did a better job of it. Man, well, it's pre-code, so look at that spur going into his mouth. Things are a little more violent. Man, I thought that was two guys kissing, but no, it's just a girl with short hair. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Let's see. Yeah, this girl, this redhead, apparently falls in love with someone on the other side of the fence that she's not supposed to associate with. And it's, go and look at the date. It says copyright, okay, so the novel this is based on was written in 1929. So, oh, this is a 1950 comic. But does it have a month? No. So this is 1950, adapting a story that was 21 years old. Okay. What's frustrating is you just realize what was on the stands next to these books that these kids could have bought. What else could they have paid their 10 cents for in 1950 or 1952? What else could they have bought instead of that Western comic? But they chose to buy that. So, but it's all right. So the coolest thing about the comics is just that they're old and they've got, but yeah, okay, here's a coloring book for the TV series That Girl with the original price tag on it. And this is quite worn. From Gibson's. I remember that store. Based on the ABC TV series starring Marlo Thomas. So, let's see what good job that Kelly did coloring. Looks like a couple of pages could be missing. She did an outstanding job staying within the lines there, man. It's like totally, she's coloring the legs different colors, different stockings, making her, this might have been done. Okay, she got this far, and then she gave up. Well, no, she colored her in the back. She liked to color her hair black, looks like. Oh man, this ABC reporter, she colored him like the Joker. Yeah, she's even signed her artwork, Kelly. Now, you say that's terrible. It's ruined. It's colored in. Kelly Lily, 6th grade. I actually think that's cool to have it personalized like that. This was done when she was in 5th grade. I guess the kids in the family would sign their work. This was Troy's work. He apparently colored the only masculine page in here, a car roaring off. I mean, this is in such terrible condition. Does it have any value in this condition? I don't know. To me, I think it's cool. Now, the worst condition comic from the whole pile, it looks like an Ernie Chan cover, Ernie Chua. I mean, this is shockingly horrible condition, probably one of the worst condition comics in my collection. And it's actually a more recent comic. It's an issue of The Flash from the 20-cent era. I don't have this issue. Now I want to get this issue in better shape. I mean, look at that. That's a great image. He had such a striking art style. But, I mean, the book inside's okay. It's just the cover's so destroyed. Look at that. But it's readable, you know. So give me some summertime reading. Find out what the Green Lantern was up to. This is April, May of 73. So we were just about, my family was about to move from Virginia back to my hometown of San Antonio. This is my time period, man. This is my time period. I mean, I wasn't around in the 50s, although I love the 50s. I love everything about the 50s. Oh, and then there was one Archie Digest in there, for like a recent one. Let's look. Someone's written the date it was purchased at the top, like a maniac. February 23rd, 2002. Well, anyway. Yeah, these... See if there's anything reprinted that's cool. It's The Mystery of Dr. Claus. Well, here's a cool Little Archie reprinted in here. Little Archie was always great with these space aliens. That's actually not bad. Well, since it's reprints of an earlier time period, it's not as horrible. It's just not really my favorite format to read comics. This tiny. It's another Little Archie story. Little Archie comics are great. Yeah, they've got more than a few Little Archie stories. Now here's that Little Archie story with the space aliens. Look at that. Okay, well that's it, man. That was it. You were expecting something more spectacular, weren't you? Well, you get what you just I don't know what to tell you. Is there anything else I can show you to make up for the fact that it wasn't that spectacular a haul? Let's see. What I got here, man? I found my gloves, man. I have this pair of leather gloves. I couldn't find them. It turned out they were on top of the monster gun machine. I don't know how they got there, man. Don't know. It's a mystery, wrapped inside a puzzle, inside of an enigma. Drew, would you like to go on a walk? You want to go walking? I don't think she does. But I can always put the offer out there. Ah, shit. Okay. Drew, you want to go on a walk?
Well, I'm like a fucking chicken clinking and clinking. I'm like a fucking chicken clinking and clinking. I'm like a fucking chicken clinking. I'm like a fucking chicken.
Well, it looks like Night Tiger Comics has got a July 4th patriotic comic show tomorrow night. He likes to do his live shows on Sunday night, which is probably smart because that's the night everybody's home. But July 4th is actually Friday. So that'll be something to watch tomorrow night. Ooh, Drew is wagging her tail. Maybe she does want to go out. Come on, look, come on, Drew. Let's go walking. Cats are out here relaxing on the porch, getting some sun. Oh my gosh. Here's the leash. Drew, let's go for a walk. Let's go walking, man. Let's go see what the weather's like out there. Come on, Drew. We've been inside all day. Come on. Drew, you get a treat if you go walking with me. Come on. Let's go walking. Drew, you're being un-American. We gotta go walk. Drew, let's go walk. Let's go walk. Come on, Drew. Let's go walk. Come on, Drew. We're going walking. Come on, Drew. Come on this way. You really don't want to walk, do you? Well, I'm going out to check the mail because I don't think I've done that yet today. Ooh. My wife got a package. Got some junk mail. Drew, are you ready to walk now? I think she's ready to walk now. Drew, if you're not ready to walk, then I'll have to end the show because there's nothing interesting I can show these ladies and gentlemen. But people might want to see me walk the dog. Come on, Drew, let's go. Oh, she's coming now. Fantastic. Thank you, Drew. I can get some exercise. Oh, let me get this pooper scooper. Be a good citizen. Right, good girl, Drew. Drew just peed. Amazing. Stomping. Wait, Drew. Well, I'll see you next time.